Have you ever laid awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why your mind just won't turn off? The house is quiet, the lights are off, and yet, sleep feels so far away. Maybe you've tried everything from counting sheep to warm milk, to even over-the-counter sleep aids, but somehow, morning still finds you tired. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we grow older, sleep changes. It becomes lighter, more fragmented, and often harder to fall into. But what if I told you that two of the most calming forces on earth, music and nature, could hold the key to transforming your nights into peaceful, restful sleep? Not with pills, not with complicated routines, but with simple, beautiful experiences that speak to something deep within us. In today's video, we're going to explore how music and the sounds of nature can gently lull your mind and body into a state of rest, helping you drift off more easily and wake up feeling refreshed. We'll talk about what kinds of music work best, how natural sounds affect your brain, and even how something as simple as a walk in the park can change the quality of your sleep. This isn't theory, these are practical steps you can start using tonight. Let's begin with something most of us already love, music. Now, we all have songs that take us back. Maybe it's a tune from your wedding, or a melody your parents used to play on Sunday afternoons. Music carries memory, emotion, and warmth, and when chosen carefully, it can also ease you into sleep, like a gentle wave. There's something special about slow, soft music. I'm not talking about loud, dramatic pieces, but the kind of music that feels like a warm hug. Think of soft piano, smooth jazz, instrumental guitar, or even classical pieces with a calm, flowing rhythm. These types of melodies help your brain slow down. They tell your heart, it's okay now. You can rest. One study from the University of Toronto found that older adults who listened to calming music before bed fell asleep faster and experienced better sleep quality over several weeks. The reason is simple: music can influence our nervous system. It lowers the heart rate, reduces blood pressure, and gently moves us out of that fight or flight mode we often carry into bedtime. And unlike medication, it has no side effects. No grogginess in the morning, just a sense of ease. If you're wondering what kind of music to try, start with instrumental tracks, especially those without lyrics. When there are no words, your mind has less to latch onto, so it's easier to drift. And the tempo? Look for music with a slow pace around 60 to 80 beats per minute. That mimics a resting heart rate, helping your body to synchronize and slow down naturally. You might even create a bedtime playlist of songs that make you feel calm or nostalgic, something you enjoy, but that doesn't stir you too much. And here's something important: consistency. Play the same few songs every night for a while. Over time, your brain will start to associate those sounds with sleep. It becomes a gentle signal, like your body's way of saying, I know what comes next. Now, let's talk about nature. Have you ever sat by a window during a gentle rain and felt instantly more peaceful? Or walked through a quiet forest and noticed how your breathing just settles? Nature doesn't try to impress us, it just is. And that simplicity has a way of grounding us, of pulling us out of the noise of our minds and back into the present moment. Natural sounds like ocean waves, rustling leaves, birdsong, and even distant thunder can have a powerful effect on our sleep. When we listen to these sounds at night, especially through recordings or sound machines, something remarkable happens. Our minds begin to let go. We're reminded of a slower, softer rhythm of life. And the science backs this up. Research shows that natural soundscapes not only improve sleep, but also reduce stress and anxiety, two of the biggest sleep thieves out there. In fact, hospitals in many parts of the world now use nature sounds to help patients recover and rest more effectively. The body listens. It responds. And it heals. For seniors especially, nature has even more to offer. A simple stroll through a garden, sitting on a park bench near trees, or keeping a few plants by your window, all of these things can invite calm into your day. And the calmer your day, the smoother your transition into night. Try this. Open your window for a few minutes before bed. Listen to the wind. Feel the air. Let your senses take in the world around you. This moment of connection with nature, even in the simplest way, can reset your nervous system. It reminds your body that it's safe, that you're home, and that rest is allowed. And if you live somewhere busy or far from natural spaces, don't worry. That's where technology becomes a blessing. There are plenty of free resources on YouTube, Spotify, or even sleep apps that offer high-quality recordings of nature sounds. You can find everything from gentle streams to forest birds at sunrise. And when played softly at bedtime, these sounds create a cocoon of peace around you. There's also something powerful about combining the two, music with nature. Think of soft piano with rain in the background, or gentle flutes with ocean waves. These layered soundscapes are designed to bring together the best of both worlds, the emotional comfort of melody and the grounding effect of natural sounds. You might be surprised how quickly your body relaxes once you find a combination that speaks to you. What I love most about these tools, music and nature, is that they're accessible. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to buy expensive gadgets or follow rigid routines. These are things you can bring into your life gently, at your own pace. And best of all, they bring beauty and comfort not just at night, but throughout your day. Some people like to start the evening with music and end with nature sounds. Others do the opposite. And some find that simply sitting in quiet with a soft melody in the background is enough to reset their whole mood. There's no right way to do this, only your way. Your preferences, your pace, your peace. What matters most is creating a bedtime environment that feels nurturing. A space where your body knows it's okay to let go. And trust me, after a lifetime of doing, giving, worrying, and rushing, you deserve rest that's not just deep but gentle, soothing, and full of care. Now that we've begun to explore how music and nature work hand in hand to create a better night's sleep, you might be wondering, how do I start? What if I've never really listened to music at night or paid attention to the sounds of nature? That's completely okay. It's never too late to begin nurturing your sleep with small, comforting rituals. In fact, the beauty of this practice is that it meets you exactly where you are. No pressure, no expectations, just the gentle invitation to slow down. Let's talk about how you can build a simple evening routine using music and natural elements. Think of it as your personal wind-down ritual, a soft landing before bedtime. Begin by choosing a time each evening when you naturally start to feel tired. It could be right after dinner, or maybe around an hour before you usually go to bed. That's your cue. Turn down the lights in your room. Dim lighting helps signal to your brain that the day is ending. Then, put on your chosen music, something calm, something that makes you feel safe and at ease. Let it play in the background as you sip a warm cup of tea, read a book, or simply rest in your favorite chair. This isn't about doing anything big. It's about creating a space that feels like a gentle hug. If you enjoy nature sounds, try playing them low and steady. Ocean waves, soft rainfall, wind rustling through trees, these sounds can create a beautiful atmosphere of stillness. Some people find it helpful to use headphones, especially if you share a room and want to keep the environment quiet for others. There are even special sleep headbands with built-in speakers that feel soft and comfortable while lying down. The most important thing: consistency. When you build this routine and repeat it night after night, your brain begins to recognize it as a signal. Ah, it says, this is when we let go. This is when we rest. It's a form of conditioning not forced, but loving. And over time, it becomes second nature. But what if sleep still doesn't come easily? What if your mind continues to race or your body refuses to settle down? That's something many people over 60 struggle with, especially if they're carrying worries, loneliness, or even pain. And while music and nature are powerful allies, there's another layer we need to talk about: your emotional space. Sometimes what keeps us awake isn't noise or light, but unresolved feelings. Maybe it's a quiet sadness. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's just the weight of too many thoughts at once. These feelings are real and they matter. They're part of the human experience, especially in this later chapter of life. And ignoring them won't bring peace. Here's where music offers something special. It doesn't just help you sleep, it helps you feel. Certain songs can bring comfort in a way that words can't. They hold space for your emotions, gently allowing them to rise and soften. A song that reminds you of a loved one may bring tears, but afterward, a sense of calm. That release is healing. You can even choose music that aligns with your emotions. Feeling anxious? Try ambient sounds or slow, instrumental jazz. Feeling nostalgic? Choose old classics that remind you of simpler times. The goal isn't to push your feelings away, but to let music help you hold them with grace. And don't forget about your environment itself. Where you sleep matters more than we often realize. Is your bedroom cool, quiet, and free from clutter? Do your sheets feel clean and soft? Is there a little corner where you can place something beautiful like a plant, a photo, or a small lamp with a soft glow? These little details add up. They tell your body you are cared for here. Nature can be part of your space, even if you live in a small apartment. A vase of fresh flowers, a potted herb on the windowsill, or even a small tabletop fountain that trickles gently, these are all ways to invite the calming power of the outdoors into your home. And if mobility is a concern, don't worry. You don't have to go far to feel connected. Even looking at pictures of nature or watching a video of a forest walk can trigger a similar soothing response in your brain. Let me share a story. A gentleman named Arthur, age 74, once told me that after his wife passed, he struggled with sleep for months. Nights were the hardest. The silence felt loud. But then he began a ritual each night. He'd light a candle, sit by the window, and play a soft recording of rain falling on leaves. He called it his evening visit with the earth. Slowly, gently, sleep started to return. Not all at once, but enough to remind him that rest was still possible, and that healing was happening. His story isn't unusual. Many older adults find that by weaving music and nature into their evenings, they start to reclaim the peace that aging, loss, or change may have disrupted. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. About choosing to offer yourself kindness and calm at the end of each day. And this gift of soothing sleep, it ripples into every part of your life. When you sleep well, your mood lifts. Your memory sharpens. Your energy returns. You feel more like yourself again. And the beauty of it all is that this change doesn't have to come from a doctor's office or a pharmacy. It can come from the soft hum of a song or the whisper of wind through the trees. If you're not sure where to begin, start small. Tonight, pick one piece of calming music to play as you get ready for bed. Tomorrow, open your window for 5 minutes and breathe in the night air. The next day, sit quietly with a recording of bird song as you drink your tea. These are gentle steps. No pressure. Just soft, simple invitations to rest. And remember, this time of life is not an ending. It's a season one filled with its own kind of wisdom, reflection, and grace. Sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about reconnecting with what makes you feel whole. Music and nature, in their quiet way, help bring you back to yourself. You deserve sleep that feels like peace, not just because it's good for your health, but because you've earned it. Every moment of your life has led to this one. This evening, this quiet invitation to be still. And in that stillness, healing begins. Now, let's keep going. There's still more to explore about how these powerful forces, music and nature, can continue transforming your nights into something beautiful. Because the truth is, this journey toward deeper, more peaceful sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about reclaiming something that's quietly been slipping away for years: your sense of balance, your inner calm, your right to slow down and feel safe at night. Let's take a closer look at how your body and brain respond to the sounds around you, especially when those sounds come from the natural world. You see, our brains are deeply wired to respond to the rhythms of nature. The sound of gentle rain, the steady crashing of waves, the chirping of crickets at dusk, these are the sounds human beings evolved with. Long before alarms and traffic and TV noise, it was nature that guided us to rest. When you listen to those kinds of sounds, something special happens inside your brain. Your nervous system begins to shift. The stress hormone cortisol starts to drop, and the part of your brain responsible for alertness and worry, the amygdala, begins to quiet down. Instead, the parasympathetic nervous system takes over. That's the system that tells your body it's safe to relax, to digest, to sleep. In other words, nature sounds don't just make you feel calm, they biologically help you calm down. And here's the even more amazing part: it doesn't have to be real. You don't have to live near a forest or a beach to benefit. Studies show that even recorded nature sounds, when played consistently at bedtime, can lead to longer and deeper sleep. In one study, older adults who listened to a 45-minute recording of nature before bed fell asleep faster, woke up less during the night, and reported feeling more refreshed in the morning. Now, let's talk about how music enhances this process even further, especially certain types of music. Slow tempo, instrumental tracks with no sudden changes in volume or rhythm are particularly effective. Some people find classical pieces soothing, like Debussy's Clair de Lune or Sadie's Gymnopédies. Others prefer soft acoustic guitar, native flute, or ambient soundscapes. The key is that the music should feel like it's wrapping around you, not demanding your attention, but guiding you gently into stillness. And it's not just about falling asleep. Music and nature also help with staying asleep. If you tend to wake up in the middle of the night, and let's be honest, that happens a lot more after 60, you can use these sounds to ease yourself back into rest. A playlist on a timer or a white noise machine set to gentle waves or wind can reduce nighttime awakenings and help you feel more rested come morning. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What if I've tried all of this and I still wake up exhausted? That's such a valid concern, and it's one I hear often. It's important to remember that sleep is influenced by many things: your physical health, medications, diet, and emotional state all play a role. So if sleep remains elusive even after adding music and nature to your routine, please don't blame yourself. Instead, see this as a process, a gentle, patient journey. Think of your sleep like a garden. It takes time, attention, and the right conditions. Adding calming sound is like watering the soil. It helps, but you also need sunlight, nutrients, and care. So as you explore these techniques, try pairing them with other healthy habits. Stay hydrated. Move your body gently during the day. Limit heavy meals late at night. And if worries are keeping you up, try journaling before bed. Write down your thoughts, just enough to let them go. And one more gentle reminder: try not to look at the clock during the night. Watching time pass only increases stress. Instead, when you wake up, return to your sounds. Focus on the music or the wind or the bird song. Let those rhythms cradle you back into rest. I want to pause here for a moment and remind you of something that often gets lost in conversations about sleep. You're not broken. You're not lazy or weak or failing because you can't sleep the way you used to. Aging changes our sleep cycles. Hormones shift. Pain and medications can interfere. But none of that means you've done anything wrong. It simply means your body needs a different kind of support, now one that's gentler, more intentional, and more attuned to your life today. That's why music and nature are such beautiful companions. They don't demand anything from you. They don't judge your restlessness. They simply offer presence again and again. And with time, your body learns to trust that presence and let go. You might even begin to notice that these small nighttime rituals carry over into your days. Maybe you start waking up feeling just a little more grounded. Maybe your mood lifts. Maybe the days don't feel quite so heavy. This is the ripple effect of rest. It touches every part of your body, mind, and heart. And as you move through this next chapter of life, sleep becomes more than a need. It becomes a gift. A way of saying to yourself, I am still worthy of comfort. I am still deserving of care. So tonight, when you lie down, don't focus on how quickly you fall asleep. Don't chase rest like a goal. Instead, invite it softly, patiently. Light a candle. Press play. Let the music begin. Let the sounds of rain or waves or wind begin to wash over you. And breathe. Inhale peace. Exhale tension. Inhale stillness. Exhale the day. Sleep is not far away now. You are doing enough. You are enough. And as that soft rhythm of breath continues, something beautiful begins to happen. Your body, your heart, your thoughts, all of them start to quiet down. Not in a forced way, but like a gentle surrender. Like the ocean pulling back from the shore at night, slow and sure. This is your time. A time when the world doesn't ask anything of you. A time when you don't have to be strong or busy or responsible for anything. You're allowed to rest not just because you've earned it, but because rest is your birthright. It's part of being human. And what's truly remarkable is that this kind of restfulness doesn't only change your nights. It transforms your days, too. With better sleep, your memory sharpens. Your mood lifts. You move with a little more ease. The fog of fatigue starts to lift, and in its place, a quiet energy begins to return, steady, gentle, but real. It's not about sleeping like you did at 20. It's about honoring who you are now and creating the kind of sleep your body truly needs today. There's a quiet wisdom in that, a kind of maturity that says, I don't need to fight my body. I can support it. I can listen to it. And I can surround myself with things like music and nature that don't just help me sleep better, but help me feel more alive. And maybe, along the way, you start to look forward to your evenings again. Maybe bedtime becomes something sacred, a small ceremony where you reconnect with yourself after the noise of the day. Maybe it's a soft lamp beside your bed, a favorite herbal tea, a playlist that begins with a single familiar note. These rituals are small, but they're powerful. They tell your body, we're safe now. You can let go. And when you do, when you begin to really let go, something else happens. You start to dream again. Not just during sleep, but during waking hours too. You feel more open, more hopeful. And little by little, life begins to feel fuller, not because you're doing more, but because you're feeling more. All of that begins with rest, with allowing your body to slow down enough so that your soul can speak. And music, nature, stillness, they're not just tools. They're messengers. They remind you of who you are beneath the tiredness, beneath the noise. They remind you that peace is still possible. So if you've been struggling with sleep, whether it's falling asleep, staying asleep, or just waking up feeling tired, please know this: you're not alone. So many others are walking the same path, wondering if rest will ever come back to them. And it can. Not overnight. Not with one solution. But with patience, with compassion, and with small, loving changes to your routine. You don't need expensive gadgets. You don't need to chase perfection. You just need to begin gently, kindly, and with a little faith that your body is still capable of healing. Even now, even after all this time. So tonight, let the world be quiet. Let the music play. Let the trees sway. Let the birds sing you to sleep. And trust that each night is an invitation not just to rest, but to come home to yourself. And if this message has touched you in some way, if you've felt even a moment of peace while listening, I want you to know that this space is for you. I'm so grateful we could share it. If you'd like to keep exploring more ways to feel better, sleep deeper, and live fully, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. There's more to come. But for now, all you need to do is breathe, rest, and know that everything you need to feel whole again is already within you. Here's to peaceful nights, to gentle mornings, and to the beautiful life that's still unfolding one restful moment at a time. You are worthy of sleep, you are worthy of stillness, and you are never, ever alone.